So I literally just released a video about Deadpool and Wolverine and the fact that that particular movie is giving the fans what they want, and it is just a one-off example of doing that, right? We already know that these companies are not going to stick with this. They only do this once in a blue moon to throw you guys a bone, to make you think that things will actually change over time, when in fact it's not going to. That one particular movie, as good as it may be, is just going to be used to subsidize a ton of garbage that is coming your way. DC is no different. DC is going to probably try to utilize the new DCU to try to subsidize this absolute fucking garbage that they're coming out with. And now we have another example. Apparently, in the recent Comic-Con, Batman Cape Crusader cast Minnie Driver as a female Penguin, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they are going to sex swap Penguin in an upcoming show. Now, why would you do this? I mean, listen, is there any other reason to do this? There is two examples as to why they would do this. Number one, they want female Penguin to be a trans icon. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw this creature, because to be honest with you, this thing looks like the ma'am from GameStop with a hat, right? So it screams to me trans ideology. And on top of that too, it's just an overall DEI push. Like, DC is, I would say, more woke than Marvel, which I know is crazy to believe, but DC has been doing some wild stuff with their comic books lately, and their animated TV shows are going to be no different. So let's get into this article, guys, from IGN. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. The first episode of Bruce Timm executive produced animated series shown at Comic-Con featuring a female Penguin. Prime Video revealed at San Diego Comic-Con on Saturday that actress Minnie Driver, Our Flag Means Death, Good Will Hunting, voices a gendered-flipped penguin in the new animated series Batman Cape Crusader. Driver joined previously announced cast members Hamish Linklater, Bruce Wayne Batman, and Jamie Chung, Harley Quinzel, and Harley Quinn, and executive producer Matt Reeves on Prime Video's Batman Cape Crusader panel, where the first episode of the new DC animated series premiered for SDCC attendees. I don't know who this is for. I really don't. At this point, who is this for? You know, we keep asking this question, and we're going to get the same stupid answer, right? The modern audience, right? The modern audience. I need like some sort of like echo whenever I say modern audience, so it gives that dramatic effect. But that's really what it's for. This is for the modern audience, ladies and gentlemen. And that modern audience could be, you know, 10 people, 20 people, 50 people. You know, it's hard to put a number on it, considering that they almost never buy anything and they almost never support anything either. And everything that's tailored to the modern audience, for the most part, 9 out of 10 times is a failure, and not just a regular failure. We're talking massive failures. We're talking studio closing failures. We're talking studio money loss failures, firings and whatnot. That's the kind of failure we're talking about. But yet they keep trying to make these TV shows for the modern audience for whatever weird reason. And we all know what some of those reasons are. Penguin, a.k.a. Oswella Cobblepot, operates her criminal enterprise from the cruise ship Iceberg Lounge in the waters of Gotham City. Penguin is the villain of the series premiere that screened at SDCC 2024. You might think they were changing something just to change it, executive producer Bruce Timm told IGN in a recent exclusive cover story, but it was never about that. Yeah, sure. It was more about where will it lead us? Will it lead us to do something new? Yeah, sure. So, again, it's the same story that they're going to keep pushing. We totally didn't just do this for DEI. We totally didn't just do this because our ideology tells us to. No. We just want to try something new. That's what we want to do. We want to try something new. And yet, for some reason, trying something new almost always means turning it female or female-oriented to some capacity, right? Or doing some sort of LGBTQ trans allegory, whatever the case may be. That is what they mean by new, right? And it's amazing how they keep trying to try something new. And that same new thing that they try is the same thing that every other company before them tried that made them lose so much money. It's almost as if they saw those companies losing money and they're like, you know what? We can lose more. Let's try something new. It's like, what the fuck? Why do you want something new in a Batman show? Nobody goes to watch Batman to see something new. They want to see a better version of the stories they've already heard and what they've come to expect from a Batman TV show, right? The fact that you're throwing in a female Penguin is going to throw off so many people. I just don't see how this show is going to be a success. I don't. I could be wrong, right? X-Men 97 ended up being a failure visually in terms of people actually watching it, but overall, a lot of people loved it, right? A lot of YouTubers were praising it. So, word of mouth was good on that show, but unfortunately, it just didn't translate into viewership. I think a lot of people pirated that TV show, to be honest with you. I genuinely believe that's what killed that show off. Because there were so many people talking good about it that people, normally that would mean that a lot of more people would end up watching it from word of mouth. But I think pirating and the overall perception of Disney just completely turned off people. In this retro noir-infused reimagining, Batman is a vigilante in the early days of his crime-fighting career, whose one-man crusade earns him both allies and adversaries from within the Gotham City Police Department and City Hall. As IGN recently revealed, Batman's allies on the show include Jason Watkins as Alfred Pennyworth, Eric Morgan Stewart as Commissioner Jim Gordon, Crystal Joy Brown as Barbara Gordon, Michelle C. Bonilla as Renee Montoya, and Bumper Robinson as Lucius Fox. Hailing from Warner Bros. Animation, Abrams' Bad Robot Productions, and Reef 6 in Idaho, all 10 episodes of Batman Cape Crusaders' first season will premiere on Prime Video on August 1st. Oh, so they're going with the binge model then. They're not even going with the weekly release model. They're just going straight up binge model, which is interesting because anytime they do binge model for something, I feel like they don't really have a lot of, I don't know, I guess they don't really have like a lot of faith in the product that it can last or keep people's, keep people's attention over a weekly span. So when they do binge model, I don't know, it's a little sus to me. But then again, Cobra Kai was a binge model and I fucking love that TV show. So it all depends, right? But again, it just comes down to who is this for, right? Who is this TV show for? I don't really know. You would think this would be for the same people that X-Men 97 was for, right? So fans of the classic animations, that's who this would be for. But then you start doing some dumbass shit like changing Penguin to a female, and it just makes people go, why are you doing this, right? And we all know the answer, and they're going to keep lying to you and telling you that, oh, we're only doing this because we wanted to try something new. Well, I don't believe you. We all know that that's not true. We all know that you guys have a certain quota you have to reach, especially when you're making TV shows, and you have to showcase certain things on screen in order to get either your ESG funding or a good proper rating from the GLAAD department, right? The LGBTQ mafia, known as GLAAD, they score all of these studios on metrics that showcase how inclusive they are. And if they get low metrics with that company, bad things happen. So considering that a lot of these studios failed in 2023 on these metrics, they're all trying to do better and garner more praise from GLAAD so that for whatever reason, right? You can make up whatever conspiracy you want about it, but that's absolutely what they're trying to do when it comes to TV shows and movies. So ultimately, we're going to find out what happens when this show eventually comes out. I would love to know viewership numbers, but of course it's very difficult to get that. We have to wait until we actually get to the Nielsen ratings before we can get any kind of viewership numbers. But considering that X-Men 97 with a fairly strong IP, I don't know if it's as strong as Batman. It's hard. It's a toss up. I would say Batman's probably more popular overall, but very strong IP and very good word of mouth, and it's still bombed, in terms of actual viewership. I would be curious to see what happens with this particular TV show once it actually releases. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.